Hi everyone! Oh boy, do I ever have a haul for you today. I spent a lot of money in May. There was just quite a few makeup launches that I was excited about, and then I ended up on vacation to England and Ireland. And of course, when you're overseas and on vacation, you just start snapping up all the things that you can't get back at home. So I'm gonna go about this in chronological order, I think, because that'll make the most sense to me, but buckle in, it's gonna be a long one. So the first thing that I picked up at the very start of the month was these two NYX Off Tropic Pro liners. I had just recently reviewed the Pro liners in, I think it was yellow, blue, and pink, and I loved them desperately. I loved how vibrant the colors were, how well they wore on my waterline, and I wanted to pick up two more from the collection. So I got the orange one, which is called Mimosa Orange, and the green one, which is called So Fresh, because I don't really have colors like this in pencil liners, and I like wearing these on my waterline, so I wanted to kind of complete my collection and fill in the gaps that I had, so I picked up the orange and the green. However, it's recently come to my attention that these are not actually eye safe. They are not actually labeled as an eyeliner, and if you look on NYX's website, they don't say anywhere that they are for use on the eyes, and in fact, they're actually listed under their lips section. I find this really misleading because everybody is using these as eyeliners, including myself. Now, the orange one does specifically say no eyeballs, and there's an X over the eye, and the green one says that it's more for like the face, although it doesn't seem to indicate that it's unsafe for the eyes. Now, I have to say, I don't have sensitive eyes. I have worn the other ones that I own on my eyes without any issue, so I will absolutely be wearing these on my eyes as well. But if you're somebody who has sensitivities to products that maybe the pigment is not necessarily safe for the eye area, don't pick these up. For me though, I will definitely be using these. The next thing I snapped up and I've actually been using is this CoverGirl Clump Crusher Mascara. I picked this up because I was going on vacation in the middle of the month and I wasn't loving the mascara that I'm currently using up at home, which is the Marc Jacobs, I don't know what it's called. It's a Marc Jacobs mascara. And I grabbed this one because it's more reliable for me. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge. And while I want to use up the Marc Jacobs one, I didn't really want to trust it while I was on vacation. So I grabbed the CoverGirl Clump Crusher because I've loved this for years, and I recently fell back in love with it because I realized that my other mascaras were leaving little flaky black dots underneath my eyes, and I was just hating it because when you go to remove it, it smudges and it just causes a huge black streak and it's a mess. So I picked this one back up and I brought this with me when I was on vacation. Love it to pieces. It's not as volumizing as other mascaras I've used, but it's really good. So I'm always happy to go back to this one. Also in May was the Sephora VIB sale, or at least I think it was in May. Either way, I got my products in May and I pretty much stuck to what I had planned to buy. I posted a video probably about a month and a half ago of the items that I was planning to purchase potentially from the VIB sale, and I did okay. So one of the things that was on my list before was to pick up these Tarte lashes. I have plenty of eyelashes, fake eyelashes in my collection, and I certainly don't need any more, but it had been a really long time since I had these and I missed them. They are some of my favorite eyelashes to use. So the ones that I got are Flirt, which are my favorites, and then Center of Attention, which is another good pair. Flirt is, I was gonna say more casual, but I don't really feel like fake eyelashes are ever really casual, but it's more subtle, I guess, is what I'm looking for. And then Center of Attention is more like va-va-voom lashes. So I love these dearly. I'm happy to have them back in my collection, even though I already have a ton of false lashes still in there. These are really, really good. Also during the sale, I picked up the IT Cosmetics Brow Power in the Universal Taupe shade. Yeah, it's the only color they make. I grabbed this in the mini size because it is more cost effective to buy it this way. Also, it's been proven that the inside pencil portion in the mini is the exact same size as what you get in the full size, except you're paying far more money for the full size product. I had initially thought that I was going to pick up 4 of these because I was worried that IT Cosmetics was going to figure out that we all know that there's plenty of product in this one, but I just decided that 4 pencil liners was a little bit overkill, so I only picked up 1. Also, I only grabbed 1 because I still have another backup in my collection and I'm getting through another one right now. I also grabbed 2 liquid liners during the sale, and what sparked this is that I feel like brands are finally putting out brush tip pen style liquid liners. It used to be really uncommon. The only brands that really made them were Physicians Formula and then Kat Von D, whom I won't purchase from anymore. So although I love the Physicians Formula one, I'm still convinced that I need to try all of the ones out there on the market. So I grabbed 2 more. The first one is the Too Faced Better Than Sex eyeliner. I've already reviewed it on my blog, so I will link to that down below if you're looking for a full review of it. It's got the same kind of pink, is it the millennial pink color, packaging that the mascara has, and this is a lovely brush tip eyeliner. Now, I have to say, I think it performs identical to the Physicians Formula liner, which makes this kind of really expensive and the Physicians Formula one really well priced. It's not matte, it does have a hint of a sheen, which I'm still trying to find a brush tip pen style liquid liner that is completely matte. Doesn't seem to exist, but this is a really good one if you're somebody who wants to buy a high-end brush tip liquid liner. And the other brush tip pen style liquid liner that I grabbed is by Sephora Collection. What sparked me to buy this one in particular was that there was a review on the Sephora website that said that this was matte. And I was like, what? Maybe Sephora's done it, maybe it finally exists. So I snapped it up in the hopes that it would be matte. This is called the brush tip liquid liner waterproof. I guess it doesn't really have another name. Anyway, this is not actually matte. It's a nice pen, although I haven't used it more than once, so I can't really give you a review on it, but it's not matte. So, I mean, I'll go through it because I love all brush tip liquid liners, but it's not the promised land that I had hoped for. And that person who left that review does not know what a matte shade is. It's got a hint of a sheen to it. That is not matte. And the very last thing I got during the Sephora sale was an eyeshadow palette. And I kind of hemmed and hawed over this for a while because I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I have more than 100. I've kind of been trying to convince myself that I don't need any more. But let's be real, eyeshadow palettes are my favorite thing in makeup. They're what I always want to purchase because I find them the most interesting. So I picked up the MAC Art Library Flamboyant palette. And I've only swatched it. I haven't used it yet because I was on vacation and couldn't have access to all of my regular makeup. But I have to say, this is really pretty. And what drew me in about this palette, aside from it being incredibly cost effective, is that it's a red eyeshadow palette. It's very red on the bottom level, it's got orange through the middle, and then it's got a bunch of more mid-tone colors on the top row. Oh, the color combination here is so exciting to me because it's not quite often that we see a red themed palette. Really, the only one that I can think of would be the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. A lot of them now have additional red colors in there, but they're not completely focused on red eyeshadow palettes. So I was really drawn towards this. I think the color combo is beautiful and I'm really excited to use it. I will be doing a full review on it, so I'll have 5 looks, swatches, and my thoughts on it, but I haven't used it yet, so I gotta work through the palette first and then I'll be filming a video on it. The only thing I don't like about it is this stupid thing. They've put in this plastic insert with the shadow names on it. I find that so obnoxious. These shadow names are on the back of the palette, but like, let's get real here. This is MAC Cosmetics. It wasn't a cheap palette. It was somewhere like 70 bucks. You can't print the names on the inside? That just seems really cheap to me because I'm not keeping this. It's going straight in the garbage. Continuing with eyeshadow palettes, I picked up my first Blush Tribe palette. Now, they're an indie brand who are really well known in like the beauty community that focuses on indie makeup, but for a lot of people who only really follow commercial brands, this is practically unheard of. So Blush Tribe is a brand out of the UK. I believe they're in England, and this is their Neon Dreams Revamped palette. And I've never owned anything by Blush Tribe, but when I saw this palette, probably on Instagram, I stopped in my tracks. I was like, what the heck is that? I need to own it. Because look at those colors. That makes my heart sing. Like matte, neon, super vibrant. I mean, they're so loud. I love it. So I have already filmed a full review, 5 looks, and a full demo actually on how to use neon shadows because you can't apply them in the same way that you do a regular eyeshadow. It just does not work out. So I'll link to that down below in case you're interested. But I really like this palette. Now, shipping from the UK and the conversion for Blush Tribe was kind of pricey. I feel like I spent 80 bucks all in, including the shipping for this palette. So I do find the shipping costs a little bit preventative from me wanting to purchase from them again. But that's really just because I hate spending money on shipping. but I love this thing. I'm so excited to use it for Pride. It's now Pride Month. I am pumped about this palette. Okay, and then randomly I picked up a Stila Little White Lies liquid eyeshadow. And the reason I picked up this is that I had been sent 2 colors from PR that were not shades that I was necessarily drawn towards. I think I was sent Fuchsia Fiction and then a lilac color. I can't remember the name of it. And they were pretty, don't get me wrong, but I really wanted this green shade, which is called, what are you? Mint Myth. And I was already doing a blog post on the 2 colors that I've been sent, and I just decided to pick up the green one because I love the color so much and I figured it would kind of round out my review a little bit more. So I do already have a post on the Stila Little White Lies on my blog, which I will again link to down below. I was pretty efficient about getting stuff this month and then pumping out a review pretty quickly. So the Stila Little White Lies collection are not actually glitters, which I thought they would be, although there's nothing on it to indicate that it would have been a glitter. This is more of a shimmer formula with a very pale duochrome shift. So all of the colors are basically like a white ivory, and then the shifting color is like a green or a gold or a purple, depending on which one you pick up. So I really like working with these because I find the ivory or white duochrome shift is really flattering and so much fun, because depending on how the light hits this on your eye, you get a different flash of color, and when the color really hits the light, it's so pretty. So I'm really enjoying these. I do prefer the green over the other ones that I received, but that's just a color preference. All right, all of the next products are stuff that I bought overseas. If you didn't know, I was in England and Ireland for vacation. I posted 3 vlogs if you want to see what our trip looked like. And I did a lot of shopping over there. I even did a clothes try on in one of the vlog videos, but this is going to be only the makeup, and there's so much stuff here. Okay, the first thing that I grabbed when we were in a Boots was this scrub by Soap & Glory. This is my favorite scrub, hands down, of life. I have one in my shower right now. I might have a backup in my closet, but I bought more because it's more cost effective overseas, because the brand is actually, well, I thought they were UK based. Maybe yeah, they are. They're in London. So this is the Soap & Glory Smoothie Star Oat, Sugar and Shea Breakfast Scrub. And the thing that is incredible about this is that it smells like maple syrup and sugar and like oatmeal. It's just, the scent is unreal. It is so freaking wonderful, and it's not just the scent that is amazing about this product, it's also the right consistency for me. I don't like a body scrub that is too gelatinous, and this one's clearly not. It's quite thick. So I don't like gelatinous. I don't like something that has not enough scrubby bits in it, and this one has plenty of them. It's a really thick consistency and you can really work it into your skin. So I snapped up 2 because I think they were like buy one, get the other one half off, and they are much cheaper in the UK than over here in Canada. You can buy them here, and I do buy them here, but when I saw these sort of on sale, I was like, yep, I need more of you. I think in that same Boots, I bought this product by Sleek. Now this is not new by any means, but this has been so hyped over the years, and somehow I just never picked it up, that when I saw it there, I was like, okay, I have to own you. So this is Sleek's highlighting palette in the shade Solstice. It's probably been around on YouTube for like 8 years that I've been aware of it, and so many people have raved about this thing. So it's a highlighting palette with some interesting shades on the inside. I mean, there's this brush that I will never use. I don't know why brands bother with that. So there is a cream color at the top. Sorry, cream in texture, but it's more of a pink champagne color. Also very strange to put a cream product with other powders, but the other powders are like this lavender color, this more of like an amber color down here, and then this yellow gold. Oh, that is really reflective. I am excited to use this because I want to know why everybody was so in love with this product. I feel like no one really talks about it anymore, but if they do bring it up, it's kind of like in hushed, revered tones because it was such a special product. So, I mean, they still have it in stores, and I snapped it up because I want to know what the hype is all about. So we were in London, and one of the main reasons that we booked the dates that we did was that we knew that IMATS London was going to be happening in May. So we figured we'd kind of just work our vacation around it, because we've been to, Julie and I have been to quite a few IMATS now. We've done New York, I think, did we do it twice. I think we've done it twice. We did LA once. We've done Toronto like, I don't know, 6, 7 times at this point. And I was like, you know, IMATS London would be cool. See something completely different, leave North America and just see what it's like in a different location. So, I mean, it was fun to go experience IMATS, but I have to say, I feel like IMATS is just kind of dying out. The last Toronto one I went to was just kind of bland and boring. There weren't that many exciting booths to check out. And IMATS London basically repeated that experience for me. And it's unfortunate too, because there were some brands that I hadn't heard of before, but for the most part, it was common brands that I had seen before, and the prices were just not good. I mean, if you're in the UK and you're used to paying a certain price tag, maybe those products were a good price for you at whatever the discount was. But the NYX Microbrow, for example, I was gonna stock up on it. It was priced the exact same as if I had purchased it at Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada. And I was like, there's no point in me buying it overseas just to lug it back to Canada for the same price tag. And the problem was that every booth basically had the same sort of pricing mechanism, and none of it was actually a discount for us coming from North America. So that was pretty disappointing. And honestly, some of the pricing on some of the products was so outrageous. I would never even spend that. I think somebody had like a shifting duochrome paste or glitter or something, and I think they were charging, it must have been 30 or 40 pounds. It was absolutely unreal. It was just like a single pot, and I was like, there is no way in hell that I'm spending this kind of money on a single item. So we only spent about 30 minutes at IMATS, which kind of says it all, but I did pick up 2 things. So I grabbed 2 glitters because they're a little bit different. So these are by the brand Stargazer, which I had heard of before, again via YouTube a long time ago, because I feel like they sent a lot of product out to UK bloggers back then. And they had a lot of glitters and different things, but I was drawn in by these 2. So these are their glitter shakers, and do you actually have a name? One is called Pink and the other one's called Aqua. Okay, so not very descriptive. But if I show them to you, it's kind of, yeah, it's focusing on my face, but it's kind of like a holographic glitter with different sizes, and they're just really neat. It's kind of like confetti shaped, and I think this will be fun to play with. I'm pretty sure they're not eye safe, but I'm not planning on dumping it like all over my lid. I'll probably put it on the corner or on the outer edge of my cheek or something like that. But I like these because the pink one has got pink and yellow in it, and then the more aqua one is like blue, teal, and gold in it. So I think these will be fun to play with. So after IMATS was over, we had plans to meet up with one of my subscribers. Now, she is called Dominica, and she has been subscribed to me since like, I think basically the very beginning of my channel, or at least within a few months of it. And we've been chatting back and forth on the comments and on Instagram, and it's a good relationship. She's really fun to talk to. She's gorgeous. And when I found out that she was moving to England and relatively close to London, I was like, hey, do you want to meet up? Or maybe she suggested, I don't really remember. Do you want to meet up for lunch, basically? And we both wanted to do it, so we decided to meet for lunch. And I brought her a few things that I was decluttering from my collection that I knew she wanted. So I gave her a whole bunch of products, and then she kind of surprised me and bought me products, which I feel a little bit bad about because I gave her products that I was already decluttering, so they were already kind of used. And she handed me some like brand new stuff to try out, and none of it I own, so I'm eager to try these out. But there's still a part of me that feels kind of bad because she spent money on me, and here I am giving her some stuff that I'm just getting rid of from my collection. So I'm gonna show you what she gave me because we kind of did a swap in a sense. I don't tend to like to put products that a subscriber has sent to me on my channel because I don't want to encourage people to buy anything for me because I just don't need it. But we did kind of a little swap, so I'm gonna mention what she gave me. And one of the things that she mentioned is that she really likes green highlighter, so she bought me some products actually they're all by Makeup Revolution, that she absolutely loves. And this one here is the liquid highlighter in the shade Mermaid's Scales, and I just really like the name of that. And I don't have any kind of liquid green highlighter, and I dabbed this on my hand the other day, and the color is so pretty. So it's just like the Cover FX drops. I'm pretty sure it's not any different, and it just kind of melts into your skin beautifully, and I love the green shift on this. So I'm excited to play with that. And then she got me a pressed powder highlighter that is another green tone, and this one's called Northern Lights. And this one, I haven't swatched it yet, but it's also another beautiful green shift, and I've had a few friends that have been playing around with these for quite some time and I just never snapped them up, but now I've got one and I love that it's a fun color too. Like, she wears a lot of really cool, I would say alien-esque makeup. Like, she wears a lot of like greens and cool tones, and she does really cool like eyeliner, and she does these really cool like 3 dots underneath her eyebrow with eyeliner that look so neat. It's so cool. Anyway, these are very her, and I'm very excited to try them. It doesn't stop there though, because she bought me 2 eyeshadow palettes as well. This one is by Makeup Revolution again. It's the Reloaded Iconic Division palette, and she said that this is kind of a dupe for the Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I returned because I couldn't stand that thing. I'm eager to try this out because I really did like the colors in that Subculture palette, but I could not handle the formula at all. So I'll be eager to try this out in this format. And then she got me the Reloaded Neutrals 2 palette. And I think she got this for me because she knows that I really like warm red tones, and this palette just screams that. So I was trying to think about what this palette actually reminds me of, because I feel like Makeup Revolution tends to dupe other palettes, but there's nothing in here that screams another palette that I've seen before. So maybe it is completely a new creation for them. And we're not done. She bought me 2 other products. You see why I felt guilty? Jeez. She definitely spoiled me. So this is the Blushing Hearts Triple Baked Blusher in Iced Hearts. And it's similar packaging to Too Faced, and it's just a kind of iridescent tone. I would say that this is gonna come out quite peachy with some gold shift to it. And the next one I'm really excited about because I decluttered, this is funny, I decluttered my only rainbow highlighter and gave it to her because she was interested in it. And I was like, girl, I don't know if you're gonna like this because it forms hard pan right away and I don't really like the tone of it. Anyway, turns out she's in love with it, so I'm happy about that. But this one is the Unicorn Hearts Rainbow Highlighter. Again, same heart-shaped box, and it's just a rainbow on the inside. I'm excited to try this one out. I was really sad that I didn't love the Too Faced one, although I'm quite happy that she enjoys it. And now I get to try another rainbow highlighter out. So that was incredibly sweet of her and completely unexpected. But the other thing that I picked up because of her when I was in the UK was a perfume. And when we were out for lunch, and I went up to give her a hug, and immediately I was like, what perfume are you wearing? You smell intoxicating. Oh, it was unreal. It was instantaneous, like I want to devour you because the scent was so good. So she told me what it was, and I was like, I remember hearing about this perfume ages ago on YouTube from a lot of UK YouTubers, and it's the Eccentric Molecules Molecule 1 perfume. And it smelled so good on her that I think I ran out the next day and bought the biggest bottle that they had. I just had to own it. So what's interesting about this perfume is that it's a completely synthetic fragrance. I think it's called ISO Super E is the basis for the formula, and it's completely generated in a lab. There is no natural properties to this perfume whatsoever, but they've, just pulling it out of the packaging, it's unreal how much I like this scent. So Molecule 1 is the first one that they released, and the basis for it, and I looked it up at the time, was that it's a singular molecule that's synthetic that is just a really good fragrance. So they've isolated it and released it as just a perfume. Now this can be used to boost other perfumes from my understanding, but you can wear it just on its own. Now I bought this at Liberty London, and the woman there was kind of trying to sell me on some hocus pocus about this perfume. She said that it smells different on everybody, which I will believe. That's true for every perfume. But she said that the person who wears it cannot smell it. Not true. I smell it on myself just fine. And she also said that if you spray it on clothes, you can't smell it either because it has to react with somebody's skin. Also not true. I smell this on my clothes completely. So there's a little bit of like science witchcraft that they're trying to sell you on in relation to this perfume, but I can tell you with absolute certainty that this is one of my favorite perfumes of life now. Some people say they get kind of a woody scent out of this, but I actually smell quite a bit of, I get a little bit of the wood, but to me it's more aquatic. Now there's no notes in the creation of this molecule that would indicate that there's anything aquatic in there, but I get something very aquatic in the scent. And oh, it's just so good. I've been keeping it in the box since I got back from my trip because I wanted to film this video, but I cannot wait to bust this out and just wear it for the rest of my life. And what's neat about this too is that it's kind of special because it is made in the UK, and I've since discovered that you can actually buy it in Toronto in certain select locations across the city. But it feels neat because it was a scent that I was so enamored with on a person that I was meeting for the first time and really enjoyed talking to. And then it's even more special because it's kind of like a UK based scent, and I got to bring home like kind of just a beautiful memory for myself. So Molecule 1, man, holy smokes. And my friend Julie, whom I was on vacation with, bought Molecule 2, which is a little bit more of a, I think she said an amber scent. It's definitely warmer, it's sexier. This one I would say is more of a clean scent, and I definitely get an aquatic sort of woodsy scent off of it. Okay, we're still going and there's still so much to go through. So we visited a lot of Boots when we were in London because I was trying to track down my favorite foundation of life, which is the Boots No. 7 Instant Radiance Foundation. And come to find out, they discontinued it 3 months ago. I was heartbroken. I was just like, well, what do I do now? This is my favorite foundation, and I was expecting to stock up when I got here. So I ended up filling the void by picking up 2 other foundations in the meantime. I picked up one of my beloved ones, which is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation, and I picked it up in the shade 51, which is light vanilla. And then we spotted CYO, which I have only heard that Taylor mentioned before, but she raves about this stuff, so I figured I'd give it a go, and it didn't seem to be expensive either. So I picked up the shade 102, which seemed to be the lightest in most Boots locations, but we did see a few Boots that I think actually carried 101. So I picked up these 2 because I figured, you know, I'm gonna grab some foundation overseas, and I figured my Instant Radiance was long gone and I'd never see it again. But then we were in one Boots at Stratford Westfield, and the woman said that she had some in the back room. And she said that it's pretty irregular that they had any because most Boots would have shipped them back to the center after they'd been recalled from stores because they were discontinuing it. And I was like, really? Bring me everything you have. And as soon as I said that, she ran to the back room, and I had this moment of panic where I was like, watch her bring out these like massive boxes of Instant Radiance foundation, and I have to be like, okay, no, not that many. Anyway, she probably brought out about 18 different bottles of it, some of which were my shade and some of which were not. So I wear Cool Vanilla and Warm Ivory mixed together because the Cool Vanilla is a little bit too pink and the Warm Ivory is a little bit too yellow, and together they're the perfect match. So she had a whole bunch of Warm Ivory, and then she had some Calico and Cool Ivory. So I got 6 bottles, which is seriously overkill because I don't even wear foundation that often, really. But these are my favorite, and they're gonna be gone forever, so I snapped up as many as I could. And even better, they had like a deal going on, like 5 pounds off or something. So at this moment in time, I have 2 Calico shades, which I will mix with some of the darker shades in order to make it match my skin tone. And then I have 3 Warm Ivory, which is one component of the shades I like to wear. And then I've got Cool Ivory, which she said is basically the next step in line from Cool Vanilla. It'll just be a little bit darker. And if I mix it with Calico, which is on the more paler side, I should get a color combination that will work for me. So I have 6 of these suckers now, and this is the last that I will ever see of them. We did go to probably 8 to 10 more Boots when we were in the UK and then in Ireland, and all of them insisted that they had shipped back their product. We even made people go to the back room and their storage to check if they still had them in stock. Only because this woman at Stratford had been so kind to go back there that I figured the other places would do it as well. But they said no, they all shipped them back when they got recalled. So this is it, guys. This is my favorite foundation, and this is all that's left of it. 2 more pickups from Boots, and I think one was at a Primark. Nail polish. Now these are the silver holographic nail polishes that I continuously wear on my toenails. They're not very common in North America, but I feel like I can see them sporadically when I'm in the US and overseas, so I grab them whenever I can because I'm constantly recoating my toenails in a polish that looks like this. So this one is one I've used before. It's the Berry M, oh, what is your name? Diamond Glitter Polish. This one, I remember thinking that it wasn't the best I'd ever used, but that I would certainly pick it up again should I happen to be overseas and see it, and I definitely did grab it again. And then this one, I couldn't remember what I thought of it. It's the Misslyn Effect Top Coat, and the shade is Mirrowball. And I couldn't remember if I liked it or not, so I had to pull up my own empties post from like, I don't know, 2 years ago when I finished up another one of these bottles. And turns out I don't love this one. I feel like it pops off quite quickly, but I mean, I'm just happy to have more of this stuff because, again, it's not very common over here. I feel like silver holographic glitter polish has just kind of gone the way of the dodo. I used to be able to buy it all the time by Sally Hansen, and now it's not being made anymore, so I just grab it whenever I see it. I don't really care what the brand is. Okay, we're almost done, I promise. The last thing that I picked up overseas was this enormous makeup bag. So this was at, Primark maybe, or Pennies. They're the same thing, it just depends on if you're in Ireland or England. So I grabbed this because the color was just drawing me in. I couldn't say no. And honestly, my Mary Kay makeup bag that I really like is shaped like this, but the mirror cracked on the inside. I don't love the color of it, and it's gotten really gross on the inside, and it's kind of fabric material, so very hard to clean. This stuff is plastic, so it'll be very easy to wipe out the inside of it. And I have to say, it is about double in height from the Mary Kay bag, which is a little bit excessive if I'm just bringing makeup with me, but this one will fit not only the makeup I'm bringing, because that usually goes to about halfway here if I'm traveling, but it will also carry all of my liquids. So shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, razor, etc. Everything will fit in here, so I felt kind of justified in picking this up, but it's certainly massive. And I think it was only €5. That's what kind of just clinched it for me. I'm like, well, that's not very expensive, so I will snatch it up. All right, and the very last few products I have to talk about are by ColourPop. So while we were in London, ColourPop released their birthday collection with that red palette, and I was like, I have to own it. Let's place an order immediately. So we placed a joint order, and I have the Main Squeeze palette now. Whew, I am so excited to see this. I said before that I wanted to see ColourPop put out every single color of the rainbow in this 9-pan packaging thing that they keep releasing, and it looks like they're actually doing that because I bought this one, and then I think like 2 days later they released the blue one, and I was like, I could have put that in my order because I will eventually be getting that one. But for now I have Main Squeeze, which is the red palette, and it's just beautiful. Look at those colors in there. They make me so happy, and for 12 bucks, I mean, ColourPop just does it so right. So I've got the palette, and then with that order they also sent one of their free Super Shock shadows. This is in the color Birthday Treat, and it's just kind of a slightly, well, it's not really a watermelon color. Oh, the outer packaging makes me think it's watermelon. It's kind of like an iridescent orange with pink shimmer in it. Don't love the Super Shock shadow formula, but you know, it's been a few years, so I'll give it another go. And then I also ordered 2 of their Glitterallys because I really like glitter. So they're called Glitterally Obsessed. So this one here is called Disco Lady, and I bought this one because there's someone on Instagram called Midnight Weirdo that I follow, and she used this in a few of her looks, and they were so freaking pretty. Now this is honestly not dissimilar to the recent Tarte glitter that I picked up, so it might actually be near identical, but it's a kind of a rainbow pastel glitter. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun to use during Pride Month. I'm just gonna cover my body in it, really. And the other one I picked up is from their birthday collection as well. You can tell by the pretty watermelon packaging. So this is the Glitterally Obsessed in the shade Tripping on Skies. And this one's more up my alley, I feel like, because it's more of an opalescent glitter. There's like, I mean, it shifts from like gold and green to like purple and blue depending on how the light hits it. It's really pretty. And I swatched it on my hand yesterday and I was just like, oh, it was so gorgeous. So I'm really excited to use these. I'll probably do a blog post on them because it'll be interesting to compare these to the Tarte glitter that I have, because that was fun to play with, but these colors are a little bit different, I feel like. Okay, that was everything that I picked up beauty oriented throughout the month of May. That is more than I have done in a very long time. There is so much product around me right now. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching this extremely long haul. Let me know what you've picked up throughout the month of May, and I will see you next time. Bye.